Great.
Perfect. All right, well, let's get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Just in Time webinar. My name is Elizabeth Johnson, a member of the ABWA national team, and I am thrilled to welcome you to our fourth Just in Time webinar of 2025. If this is your first Just in Time or JIT event, welcome. We are excited to have you with us. These webinars, hosted by ABWA National, are here to keep you up to speed on all the benefits, opportunities, and resources available to you as a valued member of the American Businesswomen's Association. We host at least four of these sessions throughout the year, usually on Thursdays around 6 p.m. Central Time. Before we get started, just wanted to give you a quick housekeeping notes. First of um, all participants except for panelists are muted to help everything run smoothly. So you are automatically muted, just to let you know. At the end, if there's room for questions, we will unmute you and you can ask your question. You're also always welcome to use the chat. After the event, you can find your participation from today's event in the membership platform under professional development. If time allows, we'll take a few questions at the end of the session, and we always work our hardest to try and wrap this up no later than 7 or 7:15. So again, thank you for spending your evening with us, and with that, let's get started. Before I review the agenda for this evening's event, I'd like to invite you to join me in a tradition that has been a meaningful part of every ABWA nationally sponsored event through our history. The ABWA mission statement is more than a formality. It's a guiding light for our collective work, our growth, and our achievements. It is a reminder as to who we are, what we do, and what we must continually strive to do to fulfill our intended purpose, and that is to learn, to lead, and to lift others up as we rise. In the same spirit of uniformity, I invite you to now to recite ABWA's mission along with me. So that means the panelists will get a chance to do so. So we'll go ahead and say that real quick. The mission statement for the American Businesswomen's Association is to bring together businesswomen of diverse occupations and to provide opportunities for them to help themselves and others grow personally and professionally through leadership, education, networking, support, and national recognition. Thank you, guys. Another housekeeping note for the evening. All participants this evening are eligible to win a free Dell Latitude 7455 laptop. Earlier this week, you should have been emailed a form to submit for entry. If you have not already done so, please complete that form. If you lost it or cannot find it, we have gone ahead and entered that exact same form in the chat. So look for it there and you can fill that form there. Sarah Nauert from Dell will be on later and to tell us a little bit more about the contest. But as always, you do have to be present to win. So everyone that's here tonight will have an opportunity to win that laptop. So thank you. And now let's take a look at this evening's agenda. We're going to kick off our we're going to kick off our webinar with a welcome from National President Ann O'Neill, who will provide an update on some things that the National Board of Directors is working on. Ann?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, first off, I want to say I'm very thrilled and honored to have served as your national president for this past, 10 months or 12 months now. And our Stellar Nine has done an exceptional job supporting you, our members, in all of the districts out there. And we have met most of our goals for this year. We have met our SBMEF goals. So thank you for all your support there. We still have some work to do on membership and also on new formations. So one thing I would like to talk to you about is membership. It's a pillar of ABWA. So how do members join ABWA? We have membership campaigns, chapter recruitment, and at the national level, we have websites and cold calls. We read our mission statement of ABWA, which is to bring together businesswomen of diverse occupations. We bring businesswomen together by being an inclusive, inviting organization that looks like inviting and referring new members of ABWA. Well, how do we join ABWA? Well, there's a few different ways, actually. You may have seen twice a year, ABWA National provides materials and incentives around spring campaigns and a fall campaign. This year's campaign kicked off on September the 1st, and we'll talk more about that in just a few slides. ABWA does track everyone you refer to join, providing recognition via special membership pins as well as the national platform in our inner circle. And I am proud to say that I am an amethyst member of the inner circle because I keep sharing my story, and I know many of you out there are part of the inner circle. So thank you for what you do. Another way ABWA welcomes new members is through chapter recruitment. Many chapters have their own initiatives or incentives to invite new women to their specific leagues or express networks. We've seen our networking events, cocktail receptions, or even game nights that allow potential members to try out their local league and to see if ABWA is a fit for them or a place for them to feel like they belong. And spoiler, it is. It's the best place for women to be. National office also supports member recruitments. Besides the membership campaigns, National has a membership specialist on staff. Barbara Sloan, who I believe is on the call tonight, works with anyone who is interested in learning more about ABWA. ABWA website and social media platforms are other ways that we promote ABWA to attract potential new members. This is actually an area of new leadership at ABWA National as working, and we will discuss this in a little bit. Historically, ABWA has been more of a referral system of new members, but ABWA is looking to change that. We want women to come across ABWA online, in the media, in the workplace, and attract new members to join on their own without necessarily an invitation for an existing member. Wouldn't that be awesome? That will help us grow our association. So here's Elizabeth to talk a little bit more about that. Elizabeth, you want to talk about that?
Sure. Oops. There we go. So, some of the things that we're working on that you might see in the coming months is we have a number of new initiatives either in motion or coming up to encourage more inbound membership recruitment at ABWA, just as Anne mentioned a little bit earlier. What does that look like? Well, you might have heard us talk about a new logo and branding. We will be unveiling a new logo and branding and tagline for ABWA at the National Women's Leadership Conference in November. So be sure to come. It'll be a great opportunity to get a first look at that. We're also developing new chapter resources. We've heard from chapters that we want to make sure that our members are sticking around. That's the first years, and then that we're a place to welcome even more new members. So what that looks like is through the development of the chapters. We have created a chapter development manager, or Donna Gutierrez, who will be speaking later today. Her focus will be on helping chapters in their recruitment and their retention efforts, making sure that you guys have the tools that you need to make your chapter successful. We're also looking at changes in Sunus Foundation. So say formations. So we're working on improving our formations process right now to make sure that we're getting as many new chapters up and running as we can. And then additionally, there'll be more marketing from national office. So once that branding and logo comes out, we'll be making efforts in that marketing and PR area to make sure that everyone knows who we are and that ABWA is a place to be.
Thanks, Elizabeth. As mentioned, on September 1st, ABWA kicked off their 2025 fall membership campaign. From September 1st to November the 30th, all across the nation, ABWA members will be referring women to join ABWA. This year's theme, Turning a New Leaf, a reflection of the new leadership of ABWA, the changes coming to the organization, the opportunity for new members to come into ABWA and improve and change, and of course, recognizing the women time over the year, it's fall. So I'd like to share with you the different incentive packages that we have for you to recruit new members. Level 1, you will receive an ABWA pin with the brand new logo, yet to be revealed, which you'll see at our National Women's Leadership Conference. Level two is the ABWA branded tote when you recruit or invite three or more members to join ABWA. And here's the biggest awesome thing that we have this year. There is a grand prize drawing for one complimentary registration to the National Women's Leadership Conference in 2026. Each member you recruit that joins ABWA puts your name into the drawing. So if you bring in five new members, you will have five registration opportunities for this drawing. So keep recruiting, keep sharing your stories. And that is how we're going to be able to reward you for sharing your stories and recruiting new members and growing our association.
And
Back
and
to you. Oh,
thanks. And I just wanted to point out as well that I know typically those incentives are sent out as it is received. But since the logo is not being revealed until November 13th is the official day, those incentives will be mailed after that reveal. So there will be a little bit delay on that, but it will still be coming, and we'll make sure that we get those to everybody by the time after the fall campaign is finished. There we go.
awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Mhm.
All right. So one of our mission um, tenets is recognition. So I would like to recognize some of our members that have leveled up in the inner circle. So first off, let's start with Miss Joanne Martin of the Golden Royalties chapter of Kansas City. Joanne has sponsored 11 new members. Congratulations, Joanne. Toby Page, she's actually part of our chapter at the Heart of the Piedmont, and she's here on the line. Congratulations, Toby, for leveling up to the Emerald Star by sponsoring 23 new members. Congratulations, Toby. Sharon Logan of the Lakeland Downtown chapter in Lakeland, Florida. Congratulations to you. You have risen up to the Emerald Star by sponsoring 22 new members. And Elizabeth, I'd like to pass it over so you can finish us out.
Sure. Uh, Flora Gaskin of Oxon Hill Charter Chapter of Maryland also joins the Emerald Star level with 22 new members recruited. And finally, Miss Deirdre Francis of the Diamonds of Excellence chapter of Kansas City, Missouri, joins the Golden Star level by sponsoring 35 new members. So, congratulations. Thank you, ladies, for your continued efforts and support of ABWA. All right. Thank you again, Anne, for all your help in recognizing our wonderful members. We have several important announcements to share with you today, encompassing all aspects of ABWA membership. The first is the spring campaign wrap up. So thank you to everyone who participated in the spring campaign. Just as a reminder, that ran from March 1st to July 31st, and we welcomed 307 new members into ABWA. It's a wonderful number. As you may recall, we ran a special incentive. We offered a special raffle for every member referred. Members received one entry into a raffle for a large LL Bean boat and tote, kind of fitting with our New England theme of National Women's Leadership Conference. And our winners of that raffle were Charlotte Collins of Kansas City, Tina Johnson of Houston, Texas, and Paula Clutter of Linville, Indiana. So thank you again, ladies, for all your support. So, moving on, in the last Just-in-Time webinar, we mentioned a new addition to our staff, Miss Donna Gutierrez, joining to support chapter development. Well, we wanted to put a face to the name, as well as provide more commentary about all that Donna is responsible for here at ABWA. I'm going to give her a quick intro, and then I'll let her tell you a little bit about her role and what she's doing. Donna currently resides in Sacramento, California, and is a lifelong association membership expert. She originally joined ABWA to support our sponsorship and exhibit sales efforts, taking over for Cynthia Bell, who had retired this spring. In addition to this role, starting in early July, Donna also began supporting ABWA with a new position that had never existed before. She has been supporting our chapters in two different ways. One, working with our newly installed chapters to help guide them through their first year, and ABWA to help ensure their long-term success with the organization. She'll be working with our ambassadors to develop a playbook of best practices used by chapters to help these newly formed chapters and express network as they get their footing in their first year. Secondly, Donna will be working with our existing chapters as well, keeping an eye out for any flags that might show a chapter in distress. So be sure to reach out and provide, and Donna's happy to provide any guidance to help maintain the health of your chapter or league. Lastly, Donna is currently providing temporary support for our formations, working with prospective new leagues by providing them the information and guidance they need to help turn into a full-fledged chapter. This means helping them with their paperwork, getting what they need to get their meetings started, and of course, helping to recruit those 31st members so that their formation can become an official chapter or express network of ABWA. We are so very excited to welcome Donna here at ABWA National. Donna?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Donna Gutierrez. I'm very excited to be here. I'll be serving as your chapter support. And that just means I'll be working alongside you to help provide the resources and that you need to help your chapter grow and succeed. So if there ever is anything that you're missing, anything that you want to share with me that has worked really, really well for your chapter and you would love others to know, please reach out to me. You will see me reaching out to you proactively, just checking in, seeing if I can provide any assistance. And I look really forward to working with you. I had a chance to meet with some of you already, and it's just been so inspiring and exciting. You all have such a passion for the organization, and definitely has, it has inspired me to work really closely with you and support you in your chapter success. So thank you very much, and I'm very excited to be talking to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. All right, so next up is something very top secret. So I hope your ears are open and your lips are sealed as we share um, something for Renee Street. So as you heard, Renee Street is in the process of leaving ABWA. It is difficult to show our gratitude for all of her years of service, support, and love for ABWA, but we are going to try. One way we think we know how to show our gratitude to recognize Renee's love for supporting women is two different things that our boards put together. One, the National Board of Directors will be setting up a special fund in honor of Renee Street. This will be through the SBMEF. We are asking members who want to provide a gift to Renee to do so via the SBMEF. There will be an email coming your way with more instructions. But if you do not want to wait until that email makes it your way, simply visit the SBMEF website and in the online payment section, write a note of Renee Street. We are going to allocate all those donations for the new scholarship in name of Renee. Additionally, we are also setting up a scholarship with the Kansas School of Classical Ballet, an organization Renee has personally been supporting herself for nearly 10 years. We are asking anyone who is an ambassador to donate to this organization. More details will be coming, also via email, in the coming days, so you can donate directly to the school. And again, there will be a way for you to note that it is a gift in honor of Renee. Lastly, ABWA will be setting up a virtual video card to capture videos and photos to share with Renee after NWLC. Information on how to participate will be in that same email coming your way with the donation information. Again, all of this is top secret. Please be sure to spread the word. But of course, we want to keep it a secret from Renee. But we also want to make sure that we are giving Renee a wonderful send-off come November. And furthermore, exciting thing we're doing a call for pictures. So September 22nd was ABW Day. It was my first ABW Day, and I was honored to be included in the ABW Day celebration of Tri-County in South Florida earlier this month. Just seeing all the effort and the smiles of the chapters, I realized everyone needs to see this. So we would like to include your pictures from how your league celebrated in the next Achieve newsletter. So as you can see from the slide here, we're saying, hey, send in your favorite photo and caption to Chavis@abwa.org, And we'll be taking those and putting them in the Next Achieve newsletter. So we would love to spotlight your chapter and how you guys celebrated by submitting by submitting your photos to, again, Lorraine Chavez at lchavez@abwa.org. Okay, next up is National Women's Leadership Conference. Toby?
I think Michelle's going to lead off.
Oh, my apologies.
That's okay. So, rooming updates. If you need a roommate for Portland, please utilize the ABWA conference team board in the member platform. Also, if you find a roommate and no longer need your room, or you made extra reservations, please ask that you release the rooms as soon as you can. We're running low on rooms, and we don't want to place additional holds on rooms if they're not needed. ABWA is looking into setting up possible tours for Portland as well. Again, be sure to utilize the conference team board in YM to see updates and potential sign-ups for the tours. The tour types are yet to be determined, but our team is working with local tourism board to potentially have some fun and great options for our members. We want you to make the best of the time that you have in Portland. And we have recently learned that there will be a walking food tour. So that sounds fun.
Does.
Program ads. If you or your league is interested in purchasing an ad in celebration of an officer, a top 10 winner, or anything else, please submit those by October 3rd. Again, the deadline is October 3rd. Thank you. Toby, what else do you have to share for the conference?
Well, we have contracted with a florist in Portland to work with. Harmon's Floral Company is going to be our go-to for flowers this year. And you can see we've worked out a price, $40 for corsages plus tax. They're either going to do a corsage or a little bouquet that you can carry. You need to call them directly. You will pay them. They will deliver them to the hotel, just like we've been doing in the past years. You have to place your order by Friday, November the 3rd at 3 p.m. And again, just like in past years, there will not be any extra ones. So don't forget your Women of the Year, your top 10 nominee, or anybody else you want to order flowers for. You can see the website. The phone number is posted. We will put the flyer on the team page. So please go ahead and start calling Harmons and get your flowers ordered. Now, while we're there, some things that we need to look forward to. Don't forget, on Wednesday, November the 12th from 2 to 3:30, we're going to be doing a new Connect to Belong business meeting, network meeting. So you will need to register for that. You can find all of this on the team page in the schedule. A couple other things we want to point out. Wednesday at opening session, we are going to have Kelly Swanson, who is one of the town girls here. If you've seen her, you know her, you love her. She is going to do flip your script and see your life and work in a whole new story. Kelly is the ultimate Southern sass. She just drips Southern sass. She's a Hall of Fame motivational speaker, award-winning storyteller. She's a laugh out loud humor, deep wisdom. She can turn any room into a front porch conversation. And if you're from the South and you're Southern, you know we like our front porch conversations. And don't forget to get the info, the pictures, and the little videos when we get the emails for Renee, so she can know how much we appreciate her. On Thursday, we will be doing a Young Professionals meetup. That'll be from 4 to 5 p.m. This is a new event. Several have been asking for it, so we are going to do that. You can find more information on the platform through the national team page. Friday from 8 to 10 in the morning will be our top 10 business women's breakfast. Do not forget, you have to purchase a ticket for the top 10 breakfast. Can't buy them on site because we have to turn our head count in. If you don't have a ticket, again, we'll be at the door. You will not be allowed in. This is one of those, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about the top 10 breakfast. Have a ticket or you don't show up. We hate to be those people at the doors, but we will be those people at the doors. And then on Saturday, November 15th, when we finish up, we will be doing a promo. So you will know where we're going in 2026. So you want to be there. Don't sneak out. Be there for the closing session. So you will know where to start getting your bags packed for 2026. One other thing that's just come about on October the 22nd, it's a Wednesday night. We will be doing our annual First Timers event. So you'll be getting more information on that. And I think I remember Shoshana saying we're up to like 60 first timers this year, which is awesome. So if you are a first timer, you definitely want to stay tuned and join our October 22nd Zoom event where we'll be giving you all of your little tips and tidbits and your chance to ask us any questions. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Toby. Excellent. Well, I am very much looking forward to Portland. I hope you guys are too. Any ABWA event would not be a real event without recognition of our fellow members. So this evening, we highlight the incredible individuals and leagues who exemplify the spirit of ABWA. As we get closer to the National Women's Conference, that also means it's time to recognize our top 10 businesswomen class of 2026. This is the first 5. There's 2 slides, ladies. So first of all, excuse me, hopefully you have seen the announcement on social media, you've seen it from your chapters, and you've seen the email or the Achieve newsletter. We're getting it out everywhere we can. I am pleased to share our 2026 class in alphabetical order. Carol Arnold of Women Growing Together Express Network, Victoria, Texas. Congratulations. Rhonda Bender of Birmingham Charter Chapter, Birmingham, Alabama. Congratulations. Jay Franco, Sci-Fair Express Network, Katy, Texas. Congratulations. Melissa McCaughey, Trendsetters Chapter, Palm Desert, California. Congratulations. Deanna Nesbitt, Gem City Chapter, Sugar Creek Township, Ohio. Congratulations. I need another word for congratulations as we keep going. Kayla Renner, Leading Women Express Network, College Station, Texas. Way to go. Kristen Snyder, Oceanside Charter Chapter, Melbourne, Florida. Way to go. Pamela Stansbury, oops, excuse me. Women Connecting Women Chapter, Irmo, South Carolina. Way to go. Natasha Vaughn, Fort Bend County Chapter, Houston, Texas. Way to go. And Sharon Welch, Oxon Hill Charter Chapter of Oxon Hill, Maryland. Way to go. So don't forget the ABWA Businesswoman of the Year will be named at the National Women's Leadership Conference in Portland, Maine in just 2 months. Also, we want to be sure to check out the latest Achieve magazine, which has the full list of all top 10 nominees. Congratulations to the members who represented their chapters in this national event. Big round of applause for everyone. This is one of my favorite parts of the Just in Time webinar, recognizing the anniversaries of remarkable ABWA women. And please help me in recognizing and congratulating our fellow ABWA members.
Absolutely. So first off, I'd like to celebrate Laura Harbson, who's a national member on 25 years. Yay! Then we have Lee Lyon, who's also a national member with 25 years. Moving on up, we go to Carolyn Berry in the Trendsetter chapter in Palm Desert, California with 35 years. Oops, well, sorry, I skipped a year. So 30 years, we'll go back to that one. Karen Johnson from the Raintree chapter. I know Karen. Congratulations, Karen. And then Caroline Leckie, who is also a 30-year member from the Palms of Edison chapter. Congratulations, Caroline. And Susan Morrell from the Mill Creek chapter from Youngstown, Ohio. Congratulations. Well, now I get to go to the next one, which is the 40-year members. Deborah Brown from the Columbia Triad chapter, just around the corner from me in Columbia, South Carolina. Congratulations to you. Tamira Murray is from the Tippecanoe chapter in Michigan. So congratulations on your 40 years. And Elena Negro, who's the Mill Creek chapter in Youngstown, Ohio at 40 years. Looks like we've got a lot of longtime members in that chapter. Elizabeth, do we have any more that we want to celebrate?
We do. It keeps going.
All right. Well, we keep on moving up in our years here. So 45 years. Geraldine Allen, who's a national member, and she lives in Michigan. Thank you on your 45 years. But that doesn't stop us. We still keep moving. 55 years. Diana Earhart is a national member in Michigan. And Helen Miller from the Dynamic Connections chapter in Missouri. Congratulations, ladies, on your 55 years. But that doesn't stop us. We still have more to go. So, 65 years out of our 76 years as an association, Linda Sidebottom, who's a national member in Kentucky, thank you so much for your 65 years with our associations. Congratulations, ladies.
Awesome. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much, Anne, for sharing that wonderful news. I am pleased to have a new addition to the Just in Time webinar. We want to use this time not only as a general meeting on membership, but also as a way to improve ourselves, because that's what ABWA is all about, lifelong learning. So today, I'm thrilled to share that we have a special guest speaker to address our members. I'd like to welcome Dr. Kate Mason. Dr. Kate Mason is an executive communications coach, world champion debater, and author. Kate works with women leaders at companies like Google, Netflix, Uber, Microsoft, and more to help them navigate the tricky act of, quote, communicating while female at work. A veteran of high-stakes Silicon Valley roles, Kate brings a unique perspective to leadership, coaching her clients to find versions of power and likability that are most resonant to them. That most resonate to them. Her book, Powerfully Likeable, has been called a game changer by Publishers Weekly. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Kate Mason, author of Powerfully Likeable, to speak. Welcome, Kate.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And congratulations to all those ladies just mentioned before. That's an outstanding achievement. I'm delighted to be here to talk to you about my new book. As you can hear, my voice is going a little because I've been talking about it a lot. But I wanted to talk to you that Powerfully Likeable is a book that I've written after working particularly with women at work. And I thought there'd be some interesting points in it that I could pull out for you and maybe give you something to think about as well. I'm, as Elizabeth mentioned, a communications coach. So I work with people on how they communicate and show up at work. And I think we all are familiar with the idea that when we do that as women, there are particular tightropes that we kind of have to walk. So the book really started for myself with a question that I asked myself a long time ago, which is, how do I show up at work in a way that shows people who I am, comfortable in my skin, but also couple that with influence, with impact, and ultimately with power, with all the stakeholders that I have to interact with. This question, I think, seems simple on its face, like that makes sense to us. But I think over the years, I've found that it's a really deep one. It's revealed itself to be quite a tricky tightrope that we walk. And maybe that resonates with some of you as well. I think for many of us and for many of the women that I coach, it feels like we have two options when we want to communicate or even lead. One of those is to walk through the powerful door. And you know this door, it's the very high authority woman with no friends and low likability. Or it's the likable door, the woman with lots of friends but low authority. And to me, it never felt like this was a particularly good choice, right? Both of those seemed bad for different reasons. And I wanted to really understand there are actually lots of ways to show up on that spectrum or on that continuum where we can actually bring our real communication strengths to the fore. I wanted to think about in this book how we could make more flexible choices. So essentially thinking a little bit more about the ways that we might embody communication. Maybe we're really good at building relationships. Maybe we're excellent at corralling people or motivating them to be excited about something. These are things that might not feel like traditional types of leadership communication, but are actually, as you all well know, foundational to make organizations run and to make companies succeed. So I wanted to think a little bit about, as I was reflecting on speaking to you today, I wanted to think a little bit about the idea that sometimes this choice, do we turn up as powerful or do we turn up as likable? It feels like that's set in stone. And I really wanted to explain or give you a thought provocation, if you like, that nothing's really set in stone when it comes to how we can communicate, and we actually have a lot more flexibility. I hear a lot of women in my coaching practice say things to me like, I can't be successful if I'm not likable, or I don't really identify with being powerful. You know, that's not a word that sounds like me. And I think part of the issue here is that the way that we think about these words is kind of harking back to a different time. I think when we think power, or this is what some of the women I coach tell me, they think, well, that would be men in suits or strong handshakes or big muscles, right? It's speaking over somebody, and we see dominance or competition or sharp elbows. And when we think likable, we think about being small or playing tiny, being deferential. But I think we can reimagine both of these terms to be much more powerful and kind of generate some new options when it comes to how we communicate. I like to think about this as doing a little bit of a self-audit. Where am I already doing really well in my communication? What am I proud of? And I'd love you to think, has there been a conversation or a presentation or even just a casual interaction you've had recently, and you came out of it thinking, that went exactly as I wanted, right? I felt like my own energy, my own power, if you like, was up, and I felt really good about getting cut through in that moment. And if that comes to you, you might want to start keeping a list to yourself where you're having those moments where your energy is high and your communication feels really good. Similarly, you might want to keep a list where things didn't go exactly as you want in that interaction. Maybe you felt like you were unprepared. Maybe somebody spoke over you, or maybe you were surprised at how that interaction or that conversation ended up. I want you to keep a list if you're interested in those moments as well, because what we're trying to do here is spot patterns for ourselves. Where are the conditions or the environment or the places and spaces that I feel like I'm getting really good influence and impact in my communication? And where are others that I might want to think about working on? That's one of the ways you can start thinking about how I'm assessing my own communication so that it's really working for me and ultimately not against me. So I wanted to close by saying I really hope Powerfully Likeable, the book, feels like, if you read it, a warm and practical guide that's kind of like a friend in your pocket. It's a guide that will hopefully work you through frameworks to think about your communication so that when you have a tough conversation or a tricky one coming up, you have some sort of support and solace to find. But I use lots of different frameworks, anecdotes, so stories and practical ideas so that you'll be able to apply it right now. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and to AWA for having me.
Thank you, Kate. This is wonderful. I do have a couple questions I wanted to ask, and of course, I'll welcome a couple. If anyone has a question, they can put one in the chat. If we have a few minutes to ask Kate some questions, but in the meantime, let me start, Kate, with this question. You write about the tension between being agreeable and being assertive. Why is that especially tricky for women?
I think we are often not used to being the voices of authority. Even if we're in an all-female organization, it can feel tricky. So we think, oh, I'll minimize that ask. So we might say something like, it'll just take 2 seconds, or I promise this won't take long, or I'm not the expert, but, or no worries if not is my favorite, right? Because sometimes there is a worry if not. So sometimes I think we're treading between those two ideas, being super, super careful, not wanting to offend. And a lot of the work I do is to say, you can still be assertive, so say the thing that you'd like to say, but perhaps not worry so much about whether or not people will like you. You can still say it with a degree of warmth and friendliness, and not cut your own legs out from under you.
Mhm. Yeah, finding that happy medium. Absolutely.
Right.
Also, what's one simple, powerful communication shift listeners can make today? Like, what's,
Mhm.
a quick, if there's one thing that you should try tomorrow, what should it be?
Yeah, I think, well, the audit that I outlined in the talk, I think is a great one to start thinking about your own communication a little bit more objectively and looking inside out at it. So that's a great one. The other one I might give you is I tend to think women I work with, and I wonder if folks on this call might feel the same way. We tend to over prepare for things. And I think preparation is really important. It's critical. But if you find that you are an over preparer, I'm going to give you a little provocation or a challenge to say, could you try preparing 5% less, just a little bit less, and see how you feel? See, you might feel a little more flexible, a little bit more creative in the moment. That might be an interesting challenge.
I like that. And we have one more question for you. This is actually in the chat from Doris Brown, actually one of our ambassadors. When there are a lot of voices in the room, especially when they are talking over each other, how can you make your point stand out? Sometimes group leaders don't always give everyone a chance to speak.
Yeah, so that's a great question, Doris. Thank you. One thing that can help if you happen to be, I'll talk about being on Zoom and then I'll talk about being in a physical room. So, one thing that Zoom is actually really wonderful for, as we can see here, is that you can literally raise your hand, like raise a hand icon, or it's actually kind of a more democratic way in some ways to be heard because everyone has their own little equal box and you can be able to interject a little bit more easily. So, I would say Zoom, for all its downsides, and sometimes it's tricky to not be in person. It can be a little bit more democratic in that way. In the room is always a little bit harder. Sometimes I find women are, if you are sitting on the edge of our seat, for example, we're holding our diaphragm down and speaking toward the table, it's literally harder for men or others to hear us. So a good tip is to sit back comfortably in your seat and have your shoulders back so you're actually projecting your voice well. If it's not, you can honestly just wait for a moment that's a little bit quieter and say, I've been wanting to make a point here, or can I take us back to that issue we were talking about before? And sometimes it is a little bit of patience. But if you're finding you're in those rooms as a recurrent theme, I would say the best thing you can do is just keep at it because functionally we train each other how we would like to be treated in those rooms. And the only way we change that is by literally speaking up more. So keep at it, even though it might feel a bit dispiriting.
Get better at it each time, probably too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kate. Part of this is that we wanted to provide a book to one of our attendees today. So we're randomly going to select a participant for tonight's webinar to receive a free copy. So if you give me a second, I am going to randomize our participant list and I will read a name and then reach out to the office afterwards when I read your name and we'll get your address, mailing address, and get Kate's publishers to send that to you. All right, let's see what we have. Ena Banks, ENA Banks, congratulations. You won the book this evening. All right, great. All right, well, thank you again, Dr. Kate Mason. Really appreciate having you. You guys will see a little bit more of Kate. I've asked Kate to write an article for our Next Achieve newsletter. So we hope that we can share more of the wonderful wisdom she has to our members moving forward. Thank you again, Kate.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
All right, so next up is our reminder for the next Coffee Connections. Coffee Connections is headlined by our membership services manager, Barbara Sloan. The connections were created with the intent to get new members off on the right foot here at ABWA, to know and to take advantage of all that the organization has to offer. This special event is hosted every other month on the ABWA virtual platform. We offer 2 times to attend in the same day, 12 p.m. Central and 6 p.m. Central. In these 1-hour sessions, the next one, October 15th, we cover the history of ABWA, leadership within the organization, committees, benefits, and how to use the member platform, as well as much more. So to all of our new members on this evening's call, this part is for you. Please be sure to join Barbara and the team for our next Coffee Connection session on October 15th. Registration is available right now on the membership platform. Next up is providing an update. ABWA's Apex Campus is our go-to spot for top-notch, easy-to-access learning. With online courses in 6 different categories, there's something for everyone looking to level up their skills. As a valued member, you have exclusive access to over 100 different types of courses across 6 different categories in ABWA's Apex Campus, covering everything from leadership and productivity to technical skills. Whether you're looking to level up your career or explore something new, there's something for everyone. 2024 was a great year when it comes to participation in the campus. 2025, where more members jumped in and finished more courses than ever before, and we're already seeing awesome momentum for the next year ahead. Each course is packed with real-world tips and tools to help boost your leadership game and build a strong, forward-thinking culture and lead with confidence in any kind of business setting. First, I'd like to recognize the top chapters and express networks that have completed the most courses from January 1 to September 8th of this year. A big congratulations to Bryan/College Station Charter Chapter with 56 courses completed. Oxon Hill Charter Chapter with 78 courses. And our top chapter, Women Growing Together Express Network, completed 87 courses from January to September 8th. Congratulations, everyone. Way to go. New to Just in Time webinar this month, we wanted to share some of our most popular courses. We think this is actually a question we got from our last Just in Time webinar where people wanted to know more about the courses and where's a good place to start. So we thought, well, let's share what's most popular. So the 2025 most popular courses this year so far have been Coaching for Daily Management, Visual Management, Change Management, and 3C Problem Solving. So if you're not sure where to start, those are great courses to look up. Additionally, we always like to share our September complimentary course. This month is the Daily Accountability Process Workshop. The Daily Accountability Process is a way of involving people at all levels in the organization in checking whether the organization is on track for checking goals, projects, and performance metrics through a series of team meetings designed to identify, escalate, and resolve issues. In this comprehensive course, learn how to design, operate, and benefit from a daily accountability process. From our School of Leadership, we wanted to highlight our Giving and Receiving Feedback course, kind of along these same lines. Feedback is a process of communication aimed at individuals understanding their strengths, areas of improvement, and how their actions and behaviors impact their work and the organization as a whole. Although exchanging feedback can be a challenging process, there are best practices we can follow to make it easier. Learn the common types of feedback, the benefits of feedback, and how to start and receiving effective feedback. And just as a reminder, once you register for one of our complimentary courses, you will have 50 days to complete that course. And as of recently, you will have 180 days to complete any of our other courses through the School of Leadership, School of Lean, Marketing Tools for Your Business, Preparing for Your Next Job Opportunity, and Tech Tips and Tools sections. So any of those paid courses, you're now able to do within 180 days. As a reminder, at the National Women's Leadership Conference, we will be awarding the top 8 members who completed the most courses from January 1 to September 1. So to qualify, those members must also be in attendance at NWLC. Finally, we are working on an email to send to members with 2 separate survey links for those that have and have not taken Apex courses. We would love to hear your feedback so that we can continue to continue to support your professional development needs. If you have any questions about the survey or about any of the courses here, please contact Sherry Devery at webmail@abwa.org. Next up, I want to give a big thanks to our sponsor, Dell Technologies. I'm going to let Sarah Nauer just speak for a couple minutes. Just a reminder, if you have not already done so, please be sure to complete the form in the chat or in your email to be entered for a chance to win a Dell Latitude laptop 7455. Thank you again, Sarah, for being here. Sarah?
Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth. Good evening, everybody. I am excited to be here and to share a little bit about our program. So my team is called Dell Business Partnerships. It's a network designed specifically for members of professional organizations like the American Business Women's Association. Dell's partnership with ABWA gives you access to exclusive savings on end-to-end IT solutions, whether that's powerful laptops, professional grade monitors, servers, or innovative displays and accessories built for the modern workplace. Additionally, you gain direct access to tailored support from dedicated tech advisors ready to help you plan and solve business challenges with confidence to expert services ranging from AI-powered solutions that boost productivity to payment options that help you manage cash flow as you grow. As a member of ABWA, the Dell Business Partnerships program is for you. You get special pricing, member-only offers, and tech customized for your business's unique needs. Plus, your exclusive discounts can be used on top of current promotions for even greater value. If you haven't entered the Dell-sponsored laptop giveaway, you have until the end of this webinar to do so. Please expect an email tomorrow announcing the winner, and then I will get in contact with them via email to confirm shipping details. But good luck to everyone who entered, and please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Also, my colleague Amina, her contact info will be in the email as well. She will be transitioning over the ABWA account. So thank you guys so much, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And those of you that are new or might not know, Dell has been one of our sponsors for many, many years, and we are so grateful to have them here. Okay, so at the end of Just-in-Time webinar, we always like to finish up with a quote. But before we do that, I want to make sure and thank everyone for attending the fourth Just-in-Time webinar of 2025. And I also want to give a special thanks to our incredible panelists that joined us today. Of course, National President Ann O'Neill, Conference Committee co-chairs Toby Page and Michelle Crone, Dr. Kate Mason, author of Powerfully Likeable, Sarah Nauer with Dell Technologies, and Donna Gutierrez of ABWA. So again, this Just-in-Time, I want to conclude with a quote. As we usually do, it is a little bit of a longer one. This is the official proclamation made by President Ronald Reagan in 1986. So when ABW Day was first formed on September 22nd, 1986, as the American Businesswomen's Day, this is the official proclamation. I heard this read at Tri-County the other day. I thought it was so amazing to hear, particularly something that was written so many years ago. So I wanted to share this with the membership today. This is the direct quote from the Reagan administration. American businesswomen have made significant and increasing contributions to our economy and to the competitiveness of the United States internationally. The need continues for American working women to expand their horizons, diversify their skills, and set high personal and career goals. The American Businesswomen's Association, a national education association, has greatly assisted in this effort. The association's awarded $2.9 million in scholarships to over 6,000 women in 1984 and more than $18 million in scholarships since 1949. The association has more than 110,000 members and 2,100 chapters throughout the United States. This organization has encouraged the many important contributions of American businesswomen to our nation's continuing vitality. The Congress, by Senate Joint Resolution 196, has designated September 22nd, 1986 as American Businesswomen's Day and authorized and requested the President to issue a proclamation in observance of this event. Now, therefore, Ronald Reagan, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim September 22nd, 1986 as American Businesswomen's Day. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand in this 22nd day of September in the year of our Lord 1986 and the independence of the United States of America, the 211th. So I thought that was pretty special. So a long one for today, but very time-fitting for our most recent ABW Day this year. And again, remember, we want to see how you celebrated your ABW Day. So be sure to send in your top favorite picture and caption to the ABWA National Office. So with that, we are concluded. We do have a few minutes, so some of us will stay online, but otherwise, please enjoy your evening. It was wonderful to have you all here join us today, and we'll see you again real soon.